What's up guys, it's your boy Giuseppe here with another top deck profile video. Today we're going to go through my regionals deck where I went 2 to 5, which is actually surprising considering this deck is trash, but oh well. Let's get right into it. So, the point of the deck is to summon Utopia, so you want your level 4s. Photon Thrasher. This is just here because the deck loses to hand traps, so if you summon the Thrasher you don't need to risk a Goblinberg or Tin Goldfish or something similar getting Ghost Ogred. So you just special summon using it's a inherent summon, special summon there while you have no monsters, and then normal summon a level 4. Then you've got your Summon the Monk. This is the riskiest boy in the deck. See, he's very risky because he's susceptible to Ash, and if you get Ashed, you go -1. But if you don't get Ashed, it can then brick your hand. Another risky boy, you've got 3 Goblinberg. Now you run 3 because you want to see him, but then you also don't want to see him because he's susceptible to a Ghost Ogre or a Veiler or something like that. But he's still good because you can use him to get star drawing out the deck. Now, what I found today was people didn't know what this card did. What it does is it can be used, treated as a level 5 for an Xyz summon, and when it's using Xyz material, you get to draw a card. Mandatory, draw a card. So it is risky also because it means your Utopia can be Ghost Ogred. Basically, this is a very risky deck because it's very susceptible to hand traps. But basically, this is great because you need the extra draw because you want to draw into your combo pieces and you don't really care about anything else other than your combo pieces because you've got to commit all your resources to the Utopia and you've got to make a blowout board to try and win that turn. 2 Kage to Kage. This is great because you can just normal summon the star drawing and then using this effect when a level 4 monster. Yeah, when you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon him from your hand. He's great because he's not susceptible to any hand traps. So normal star drawing, reveal. He's not at all susceptible to any hand traps, so he's good, but the problem is if you run 3, he's very cloggy with Photon Thrasher. So that's your basic level 4 engine. To top off the monsters, 3 Ash, self-explanatory. I think this is the best hand trap at the moment, generically best overall. Now we get into your OTK pieces. So you run triple ZW as your strike. What this does is you equip it to Utopia. It gains 1000 attack and it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Now this is great because say you make lightning, you can attack all their things without them having any chance to respond, and you're going to go, it's basically game if you combine it with this Stoic Challenge. What this does, it gives you equip it to an Xyz monster and it gains 600 attack for each material it has, and also it gains double damage when it battles a monster. So this plus this, if they've got 2 monsters, it's basically game. The downside of Stoic Challenge is you've got to win that turn because Stoic Challenge on your opponent's end phase pops itself, and when it leaves the field it destroys the monster it's equipped to. Just in case, to get over any sort of defense position board, I run H Heated Heart. I prefer to not go with an equip spell because this is less susceptible to Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclones, etc. and because you don't want to be taking up 4 spaces on your back row just for equips, because chances are you're going to have a, well, we'll get into the other card you have on the back row now, and if you end up losing the dice roll and going first, you're going to probably end up setting 1 or 2 cards, and you prefer not to be doing that with multiple equip spells. Next up, for consistency, triple pot of desires. You're in 3, because I'd rather banish the desires than draw. No, I'd rather banish the desires than another card I'd rather see. And because you're playing basically in the turn, you don't care if you banish the desires, because chances are they're not making it to next turn. Next up, the bread and butter of the deck, XYZ Change Tactics. What this card does is when you XZ summon a Utopia monster, you can pay 500 life points to draw a card. Now this is great because sure it's susceptible to hand traps, but combine it with the fact that you can summon your Utopia over the star drawing, make that chaining 1, this chaining 2. You can draw off of the Utopia with ease without risking the Utopia getting ogred. This is basically ogre bait. And then the best card to search it, 2 Generation Force. I only run 2 because it's kind of slow, because you've already got to have the XZ monster face up. You've got to have a face up XZ monster to search. And what this lets you do is if you control an XZ, you search for an XZ card from your deck. Not as in an XZ monster, as in like a card with XZ in the name. And last up, it's the spice factor. Double Astral Force. This is great for turning a Utopia into a Beyond. Beyond plus Stoic Challenge is game, because he's going to go up to 5,400 and reduce your opponent's monster's attacks to 0 if you equip him with Stoic Challenge to put him up to 5,400. And with that onto his 3k and the fact that on summon he makes their monster 0, just means you put in 10,800 damage into him. Triple Call by the Grave, because you lose to hand traps. 1 Infinite Impermanence, because why not? I pulled 1, why not run it? It's pretty nice. And Triple Red Reboot. Also, gotta mention this is just Effect Fail on steroids. Alright, next up we'll get into the extra. So, as it's a Utopia deck, triple Utopia, he can negate attacks, not that it's relevant, because you're going to end up stacking either Utopia Ray or Utopia Prime on him. Prime is just spicy, because if your life points are 3,000 or lower than your opponent's, detach 2 materials from him, banish all special summon monsters your opponent controls, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, special summon monsters your opponent controls, and banish them if you do, and then they burn them for 300. And then best card in the deck, Lightning. Pretty self-explanatory. He can make himself 5k, can't be responded to his attacks, and basically you draw 3 with Change Tactics, go in Utopia, Ray, Lightning. 1 Beyond, because if you make him, you basically won. 1 Utopic Dragon, doesn't really come up, but it's just nice to have. Zexal for if you lose the dice roll and you open the Astral Force, or you draw into the Astral Force, just to pitch and stack it on top of a Prime or a Ray. And then Bagushka and Tornado Dragon for when you don't want to make Utopia. And I won't bother going into the side deck because, oh, why not? Triple Veiler, Triple Ogre, Triple Twin Twisters because you don't, I'm not maining the spell and trap removal, Triple Anti-Spell, Triple Dimbar. And that's basically it. I went 2 to 5, which I'm surprised I actually won 2 matches, considering this is absolutely garbage. The 2 wins, one was Magical Musketeers and the other was Mech Knight Invoked. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the future. Away!